Hi, I'm Sterling. I work for ZipRecruiter, but this talk isn't about them. This is about, my talks are all about me. I really, really like 3D printing, and in case anyone is interested in getting into 3D printing, I thought maybe I'd give you a short overview of my year-long experience. I started with 3D printing in April of last year, and I've become kind of obsessed with it. I mean, I think my wife would object to the word kind of. So I bought a Prusa i3 Mark IIs, and then I have since upgraded to a Prusa i3 Mark III, and then I upgraded from there to the Prusa i3 Mark S, or to the Prusa i3 Mark S 3S MMU 2S. This better turn on. All right. Yeah, there's a lot of S's. I don't know what the S's stand for. It's a Czechia thing, I guess. I don't know. So if you want to get into printing, I recommend you spend about $500 to $1,000 to get started. You can probably get away with less if you're willing to suffer the consequences in time, and you like fiddly things like I do. I started with a fully built kit, or not a kit, a fully built printer to start, and then all of the upgrades have been kits that I had to assemble myself. And I did the fully built because I figured if I had to assemble the kit, there was a good chance I'd get stalled out and it wouldn't happen. The other thing you're going to need is you're going to need some filament. Here's some various filament. Filament's actually pretty cheap. So most of this filament is about $20 a kilogram, and you will use a kilogram if you print on a regular basis. You might use one every couple of months. So if you print really frequently, maybe more than that. PLA is pretty cool. It's really easy to print with. It's biodegradable. It's made from sugarcane. And then another common filament used these days is PET. So you don't have to mess with ABS. ABS is like the thing that everybody got started on, and it's kind of gross. PET is the stuff that 2-liter bottles are made of in the US. And it's a little bit stronger than PLA. It's a little harder to print with, but it's also recyclable. The other thing you want to become familiar with is Thingiverse, which is this really cool repository that's basically like the GitHub of 3D models. These are some of my own designs. Actually, this one is my son's design. And some of these are derivatives, like this Harry Potter one that we made for Halloween last year is actually somebody else's design that was originally in 3 parts, and I made it work in 2 so I could print it in 2 colors. So pretty cool stuff. And this one's pretty cool because you can actually go on here and modify the size and number of batteries that you put in your battery pack, which is fun. The other thing you're going to probably need to get started, here is my MMU 2S. The MMU 2S is allows me to print multiple colors. So here it's changing from blue to white or black, I think. It looks like white. And to get this, the original printer came as basically a box, and it just sort of printed out of the box because the Prusa pre-calibrated it for me. But the MMU I had to assemble, and I had the dangest time getting it to print at all. So I had to fiddle with it for about 15 hours to figure out that I was tightening the screws on some idler pulleys when I needed to loosen them. So I would give yourself at least 5 hours of time the week you're going to receive it, maybe up to 20 if you're going to assemble it yourself, maybe longer if you're going to assemble it yourself. And then if you're printing, there's this one weird trick you need to learn, which is that the first layer is the most important. It took a while for me to learn this, but once I learned it, every other printing problem seems to depend on that first layer. So you get that right. And then the other printing problems I had were all based on the room temperature. So I'm printing in my basement, which the average temperature down there is somewhere between 60 and 65 most of the time. And that's actually a little on the cool side. So you should definitely see about getting an enclosure if you're putting it in a cooler environment. Okay, so if you're intimidated by CAD, you can use OpenSCAD, which is programming. So if you write your programs correctly, you can do cool things like set it up so that you can change your size and shape and stuff like that just by changing a few variables, which is cool. If you are willing to get into CAD, it's actually not that hard. So here is my don't push the button button. But mostly CAD is just this. You You draw stuff, and then you extrude it, and then you draw more stuff, and I'm doing this super fast, and you extrude it, and that's about it. And then when you're done, you have to slice it. So the slicer is the program that actually puts it on the printer. So here you can see how it divides up the thing to print, and this is a multicolor print, so you can see all the different colors. It's pretty cool. And that's it.
Hello. Hi. So I'm still offering Perl jobs. They